Dave, before we get going on tonight's game, can you discuss your thoughts on the revised schedule? It means you're going to have your last 5 games on the road. It means an extra flight back and forth to Montreal. I would think they might have had an option of just leaving you down east and taking those 2 games back here and just giving you that one big road trip. Can you discuss?
You know
You know,
what?
all the
Kenny kept us up to date with his correspondence with the league, and there's a lot of moving parts in that. So it's just you're pretty much the league dictates things, and you got to go along with it. So it's nobody expected that to happen last week. It happened, so now you got to deal with it. Um, those 2 games at the end of the year, that does give an extra flight down there, but hopefully. It depends. If you do make the playoffs, you're hoping that you start later in the week there than too quick after that trip. But it's the way you play out. The way it played out. There's nothing we can do about it. You just got to embrace it and make sure you're dealing with the best you can and get through it.
Is there a bit of you that thought it could have been worse?
Oh, there's always certain games that you think could have been worse, could have been better. So it's funny how the league always finds a way. It seems like that there's one that you don't like, and then they throw another one in there that is okay. I can deal with that one. So they try to make it as even keel as they can.
Thank you.
Derek Van Diest, Post Media.
Hey Dave, this year you guys have played with a confidence when you have the lead in the third period. It looks like you shut things down. You don't give teams much in the sense of trying to get back in the game. What was missing in that third period the other night against Toronto?
We gave up too many chances the whole game. It wasn't just the third period. They capitalized on the one in the third period. They got a break on the third goal to tie it up, but it I didn't think we played as well as we needed to the whole game. So Smith was excellent in goal, and we gave up too many chances the whole game. They just happened to capitalize on a few late. But we're going to need to be better tonight if we expect to win.
And what did the week off affect you guys most going into that game?
You hope we got some rest, but then there's always, you can never get, no matter how hard you practice or what you do, you never get to the competitive levels that match a game. And those are the things you hope are in place as soon as you get going. And I thought we were a little bit slow in reacting. Our puck play was a little bit slow, and especially in the first period, that you could tell we hadn't played in a little bit. And it's I don't know, it's just human nature. You can't get yourself to the competitive level that you need to, and when you miss it for a week, you got to work to get it back. And as the game went on, we got a little better. The second period, we got a little better, but there's still another level we'll have to get to.
Steve Simmons.
Morning, Dave. Been
Hi,
a
Steve.
long time no see.
Yeah.
On a game-to-game basis, on a night-to-night basis, how do you determine when you're going to play McDavid and Draisaitl together and when you're going to play them apart?
It's just a feel you go through, and some of it depends on where the rest of your group is. Some of it depends on matchups. Some of it depends on, chasing a game, or, there's a lot of factors that come into it. We just feel like we can have a different look. There's the greatest thing about those two players. They play so well together, but they also take the responsibility of driving their own line when they have to. And we've had success both ways. So we'll continue to tinker with it. And, when they're together, they're a tough group to handle, and then when they're apart, it seems they have the ability to drag other people along with them. So it's just different looks for our team that hopefully we can keep using it to our advantage when we need to.
On Saturday night, they tie the game up on a play that goes off a defenseman's skate on a missed pass, and it goes to Nylander, and he scores. And then they win the game on a puck that goes off Draisaitl's stick and off Nurse's skate and goes in. Do you look and say that, that's just bad breaks going against us, and the luck is going to even out somewhere down the road?
You know what? I didn't think we played well enough for stretches of the game that we deserve breaks. I'm a big believer you get the breaks you deserve, and I didn't I thought we were, just didn't do enough in the game. Now that being said, we made some, Draisaitl, McDavid made some great plays to keep us around it, but we're going to have to be a lot better. And breaks happen. They got that first goal was a break for them, and then but you make your own breaks, and sometimes when you're generating chances, they're not going in. You need a break or two to help you out, and they got the break they needed the other night.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Dave, off practice this morning, it looks like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will be at center, not with Connor, and Turris might be either at center or on the wing. Can you talk to that line? And did they do enough in Saturday night's game to help you out offensively?
Well, we didn't think our whole group was as good as we needed to be offensively on Saturday night, and Connor's line generated most of our chances. So, we'll look to tweak things up a little bit and see if we can generate a little more. But our whole group wasn't. We looked a little lethargic or coming out of that break, and we need to be better tonight.
And as Turris, what do you want to see from him? He's been in the lineup, COVID out. I mean, you're looking to see some consistent play from him so you can play him every night.
Yeah, we'd like to get him back up and going. He went through, missed a week and that's hard on players. You take a week in the middle of the season where they can't skate, they can't barely do anything. So it's taken him a few practices to get up and going, but and he works hard in practice. He's got unbelievable skill. You talk to our goaltenders about the best goal scorers on our team. His name comes up all the time. So we need to try to get him up and going and see what he can do, and hopefully he can jump back in the lineup and give us some of those things that our bottom group is missing.
Thank you.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Dave, has the emergence of Jesse Puljujarvi allowed you to maybe look for different options here down the stretch? He's maybe, he's definitely your top four forwards right now, and at 5-on-5, he's really impressive. Do you look at maybe having two duos with him, Nugent-Hopkins, Draisaitl, McDavid in any form at some point down the road?
Yeah, I mean that's the way we've kind of talked about, but a lot of it depends on whether we got McDavid and Draisaitl playing together. But we've tried, we've had Jesse with those two, and we've had Yamo with those two. So we'll continue to tinker with it just to get the balance that we're looking for.
And matchups tonight, Dave. Obviously, you don't have last change, but is there any matchup that you'd want to see more tonight, or are you just hoping that the Nugent-Hopkins line responds better against Tavares line?
I wouldn't tell you if I knew, Jay. So matchups happen in the game. They're harder on the road, but we'll see how that goes tonight.
Michael Trakos, Post Media.
Hey, Dave. Somewhat lost amongst the season that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are having is that you've got a defenseman in Darnell Nurse who's taken an extra step, both offensively and defensively this year. You had Ed Jovanovski in Arizona. I'm just wondering, are there similarities between those two defensemen, and just what are you seeing in Darnell's game this season?
Well, I had Jobo. He was kind of winding down his career there. He was a real solid, played hard just like Nursey did. It's just plays against top players. And Nursey's game, the one thing that I really see out of him this year is it's the maturity in his game. And defense is a hard position to play, especially to be a top defender. But he's a combination. He's added to his offensive game, but he's embraced the leadership, embraced the extra minutes with Klefbom out, and there's just a maturity in his game that he's played very, very well for us. Is
he a guy that wanted that challenge? Did he ask you for
very, very, very much so? Yeah, he wants to have an impact on every game. He's a dedicated athlete. He's one of those guys as a coach you look down and you love everything he's doing, how he's dissecting the game when he's not playing, and his whether his fitness levels, his knowledge of the game, he's all in all parts of the game, and it's showing on the ice right now.
Jim Matheson.
Nobody's asked yet. Mike Smith playing goal this evening?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
And getting back to Turris, you brought him in kind of as a third line center, and it it didn't look like it was working, and then you've tried him on the right wing. Are you still see him as a center, or you see him somewhere still in your top 9 if you can get him up and running, and it doesn't matter whether it's at center or on the wing?
Well, a little bit is the need of position a little bit. So we haven't tried him at center above the third line. So we'll see. The last couple of games he played very well at right wing. But we need to get him up and running again and just see where it best fits.